Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I made my last video, and today I am inspired to actually make this video because of a very popular question I keep seeing on Google, on YouTube, and I am very motivated to answer this question based on my own experience. And if you guys have not known, my name is Yangji, and I have driven for Uber in the past while I was starting my own business after I quit my corporate job, and it has been my full-time income for some time while I was getting my business started. And before we begin with the question, which is the top 3 reasons why Uber drivers make little or no money driving. Before we begin, if you guys have not yet already, please subscribe to my channel, as I will be coming back with you guys with more content just like this regularly. So if you guys want to become a smarter rideshare driver, be sure to subscribe, and I will be sure to keep sharing my experience with you all. And if you guys are thinking about driving for Uber, I have left my referral link in the video description below. So you guys will earn a guarantee or a bonus depending on your city after you guys complete a certain amount of trips. So be sure to use my referral code below if you guys are going to sign up to drive. So we're going to start with reason number 1, which is not driving during peak hours. So, if you guys don't know, because you guys are new, or you guys do have some idea, you guys would know that there are usually 3 peak periods during the day to drive for Uber. That is your morning rush, that is your afternoon rush, and that is your late night. So these 3 time periods are very important when you drive for Uber, because these are the times when people are getting to places, when a lot of people are getting to places. In the morning, everyone's going to work, going to the airport, going just wherever they need to be for business. Afternoon rush, which is my favorite time before, because I could never get up early enough to go for the morning rush. And afternoon rush can go anywhere from 3 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on the area, to 8 p.m. at night, which is very pushing it. I would actually go about to 7 o'clock and call it a night. But 8 o'clock would be the maximum time for the afternoon rush. And then there's the late night rush, where I used to have some luck making some money, but I do not enjoy working during the late night rush because you have to deal with drunk people, and it's just not my cup of tea. But if you guys are able to just put up with that, you guys can actually make quite a bit of money, and if you guys are willing to sacrifice your own fun time as well. Okay, so what I mean by this also is that when you don't drive during these peak hours, okay, that is when you are skipping out on these surge times. So during these peak hours, as you know, a lot of people are going places, and what that means is there's going to be a lot of ride requests relative to drivers. And when that happens, you're going to get surge, you're going to get very little waiting time in between each ride. So what that comes down to is you're going to make more money each ride, and it's going to minimize the amount of waiting time for you to have in between each ride. So that means you make more each ride, and you're going to save yourself a lot of time, so you get to go home earlier because you don't have that waiting period. When you don't drive during these peak hours, you're earning base rates, and you're going to spend a lot of time waiting in between rides and just waiting. And you don't want that while you're driving for Uber, because this is a cliche, but when you drive for Uber, you are a business owner, and that means you're going to have to maximize the use of your time to make that money. And when you don't do that, you could potentially be out there for twice the amount of time, making the same amount of money, and that should not sound good to you, okay? Reason number 2 is you are just driving around too much. So reason number 2 for making very little or no money while driving an Uber is you're just driving around way too much. So this kind of ties back to point number 1. If you are driving during peak hours, you will not be driving around looking for rides. Rides will automatically come to you, and you should make very little movement while trying to get the next ride request. And when you don't drive during peak hours, it's okay to just kind of wait. If that is the time that works for you, it's not during peak hours. The most you can do for yourself while waiting is not to drive around too much. There's going to be times, and I found myself doing this when I first started driving for Uber, when I did not have a clue at what's going on, what the best time is to drive, how to optimize my gas efficiency. And I will find myself when I'm in between rides, waiting for a ride, I am just driving around, hoping that the next ride will come while I am on the road. And if you are, just in between these awkward waiting times, but you're at a very good place, or just at a hotel, airport, or whatever, a place where you can pick up rides, but it's just not the right time, just stick around there for some time instead of driving around, because that is going to waste your gas and waste your time. When you just wait there, a ride's going to come, and you're not going to have to spend that gas to go out and get the next ride request. So if you find yourself during those awkward waiting times for whatever reason, but you know that you're in a good spot, don't drive around and waste gas. Just stick by there and and wait for that ride to come in. Reason number 3, this is what I think is the most important one, aside from number 1, is not having a routine. So, this is very important to me because I think it should be important for a lot of you all too, because when I was out there driving, I'm trying to make a quota to make my living and to fund my business. That means I'm going to have to set a quota for myself every day, and my quota before was about $100 just to make living expenses and to pay for, whatever else I need to pay for. And when you have a quota, you want to make that quota as efficiently as possible with as few variables as possible. So how you can do this is, when you're on the Uber platform, you're given 2 destination filters every day. What you can do with this is you could start with a destination that can take you to point B after you drop a passenger off, and make sure that at that point B, it's going to be very easy for you to connect with the next ride. So what I did before was I used to drive in the LA market in Pasadena, and I would set my destination filter to LAX because 1, that's a very good starting ride, and for the most of the time, I actually do get a ride from Pasadena to the airport. That would be a good $30 to $40. And at the airport, what happens is you're going to get a connecting ride no matter what. You could be waiting maybe 15 minutes max, depending on the time that you get there, but you're going to get a ride at the airport. So make sure that you use those destination filters, especially when you start, if possible. And that is going to make sure that you go towards the right direction starting your day. So that's very important. And you have your second destination filter, so you can use that wisely. So knowing your city knowing the connection points in your city is going to be very important. So I know that in LA, when I used to drive, there's quite a few connecting points that I know if I end up in, I will for sure to get a good ride. And these areas are, airport for sure, Hollywood for sure. If you get taken out to the OC or something, you can always find a ride from Anaheim, which is Disneyland. So you're gonna get a bunch of tourists going back to LAX, and going back to LAX, you're gonna find a connecting ride. So it's not a problem there. So just by knowing your city, finding a routine that works for you, that eliminates the amount of variables to meet your daily quota as efficiently as possible, and that's going to eliminate a lot of time on the road, and that is going to maximize your earnings per ride. So these are my top 3 reasons why I don't think drivers are making money, because they do not think about these 3 reasons, which is also the factors that that factored into why I did not make any money, or make very little money, or have to spend a lot of time to make the same amount of money when I first started driving for Uber. So these are my top 3 reasons. Think about it, and if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I will be sure to be back with you with more videos just like this regularly. And if you guys are thinking about driving for Uber, use my referral link below, and you guys will get that bonus or guarantee depending on your city. See you guys next time.